Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for a Tudor mansion. A couple of months after I had started my channel back then, I built a Tudor village, and at some point I also built a Tudor mansion, I think. But generally I love this style, and it's been so long that I just wanted to build another Tudor mansion, and here it is. I hope you like it. I wanted this to be relatively bright, and there aren't a lot of contrasts on the exterior. So back then the Tudor village was relatively dark. I had used lots of dark wooden tones, but here I wanted this to be really bright, and I wanted this to almost look like a castle or something, but it's just a very luxurious, gigantic mansion. I built this in Delsaw Valley on a 64x64 lot, and even though it kind of looks like a castle, it can be really used like a regular mansion, so it's perfect for Judith's ward or just any sim. Like, you can let any sim family move in and they can just enjoy a very luxurious lifestyle. The inside, as you will see, is darker because for the interior I have used lots of wooden darker tones, so it also looks a bit cozy. There's just something about wood. It just makes any interior so warm and cozy, and I wanted this to look so regal and just so over the top. And on the outside, as you can see, I have used multiple types of wallpapers because I wanted to have a combination of this brick wall and also this typical Tudor wallpaper. If you want to build a Tudor mansion or anything similar to this, I can just totally recommend using the Get Together pack, because Get Together has this type of style. You don't really need anything else, to be honest. I've used different packs also for the interior, but if you want to recreate this, you really just need the Get Together pack, and you can just create something like this. And I just expanded the build section by section. As you know, I like to do this. At first I wanted to figure out if the color combination would make sense. This is why I finished the section in the center. So I already added plants, these vines from cottage living, and just different details. And then I just started to expand the build. I love this wallpaper so much. Back then I used this wallpaper all the time. I feel like as soon as you're building something fairy tale like, something rustic, when you're using this wallpaper, it just immediately turns into a dreamy, beautiful build. So this is actually one of my favorite wallpapers in the game, but at some point I had kind of forgotten about this. I don't know if you know this, like if you have experienced this, but sometimes you just have a certain face. So it's like your modern face, for example, and you're using a certain set of objects over and over again, but then you kind of start to work on a different build and your style just changes a bit, and then at some point you're like, hey, I really used to love this wallpaper or this sofa, for example. And this is kind of what happened here. So I really remembered how much I love this wallpaper, and I kind of want to use it again at some point. For the doors, I mainly used the big ones from high school years. So they are gigantic and they are technically supposed to be used in a high school. So they are perfect for any public building. They are really big and you can just use them as a nice, lovely entrance for a public building. But here, this build is so big and regal that this door totally worked out. At first I had used a different one, but I'm going to use it everywhere. I even used it on the interior. The interior really looks like some type of castle, so the hallways are really spacious and kind of cold in a way. You will see what I'm talking about later. And then I used these gigantic doors for the different bedrooms, which are also gigantic. So I really wanted to have a completely different vibe for this build. Here I'm working on a tower, and this is kind of when the whole build changed for me. Like, I started to work on the section in the center, as you saw, and then I just had the epiphany to add a tower to this, so it really looks like a castle or something, to make it look more Tudor and to just have this vibe. And I was so happy, like, after I had added the tower, I like really thought, okay, this is working out, this is looking the way I want this to look. So I can also totally recommend just adding a tower to build like this. It's really such a game changer. And I then also added like this, like it almost looks like a bay window, but I obviously used just walls for this in different areas because it has a really similar shape to the tower and it just made the build look better. And later on, I'm going to add a gigantic tower, which is not connected to the build on the surface. You can only access the tower from the outside, so you just enter the garden, or you use a tunnel in the basement. So there's a tunnel which connects the house to the tower underground, which is so cool in my opinion. Well, and here at this point I wanted to add another tower, but this just wasn't looking right, so I just removed this one completely and I then expanded the build a bit more. I love this. I also love the front of the house. I sometimes, for whatever reason, have such a hard time making the front of the house look as good as the back, or vice versa. Like when I start to decorate the front of the house first, it's kind of hard to match the back of the house to the front, but here in this case it all worked flawlessly. Like sometimes you're working on a build and everything just works out, and sometimes you're working on a build and nothing works, you don't like it, and it's just getting worse and worse until you bulldoze. This happens so often to me, but here this build just came along nicely and I had so much fun. I've combined so many different windows. These big bay windows are from Get Together, as I've said earlier, just the perfect pack for a build like this. But then I've also used these really big, almost modern looking windows from Realm of Magic, and also windows from Cottage Living, also such a nice pack. I feel like Cottage Living really nicely complements the Get Together pack if you want to have this style. And for the interior I've used also the Vampires pack, the Paranormal pack. Anything that's kind of a bit dark and gloomy and spooky kind of works for any castle type of build in my opinion. Recently I have used the Paranormal stuff pack so much, I really came to appreciate it. It's just amazing, and I think I'm going to use it again in spooky season. And I used these amazing fences from high school years. So this is just a really tiny fence, as you can see, and I love this fence so much. You can use it to create something like this, so you have a nice kind of border, so you have a flower bed over there, but then you have a path on the other side, for example. But this fence is also so amazing if you want to have a roof decoration, like if you build a flat roof or any type of roof really, and you want to have a nice fence going around it. It looks so lovely, and high school years has amazing objects in it. Like this is just also really great for mansions. As I said, even this big door is from high school years. And I then started to work on the front, and you can see that there is this really big, beautiful entrance area. So I wanted to have a balcony, and you can see that I've attached some stairs to this area, so the Sims can also directly access the area at the top. So at the bottom we have the main entrance, but the Sims can also walk up, which is kind of cool. Like when your Sims come from work, for example, and they want to jump into bed directly because they are tired from work, they can just walk up the stairs. I'm gonna be honest, I did this because it looks cool, but now that I'm looking at it, it also makes sense, and your Sims will be able to quickly access this area as well. Here I'm working on a basement. I just wanted to have a small basement at first, so I would be able to have a fence around it, and light is coming into the rooms in the basement, as you can see here. I love the style. I felt like it just made the build a bit more complex, but then I later on decided to use this area to connect the house to the tower, like the big tower that I have not yet built. So this is going to serve a purpose. At first I just wanted this to look nice and neat, but this is going to be a nice tunnel, so your Sims will be able to directly walk into the tower from the house. So if it's raining on the outside, they don't have to worry about that, and they won't have to leave the house to enter the tower. I did the same on the right side. I just opened up the basement. So you just build a basement and you click on the yellow line to remove the ceiling, and that's it. Technically, you could also create any type of walkout basement, mansion, or house this way. But here I just wanted to have a nice little area where the light is coming into the windows. I then just started to decorate the exterior a bit more. I've never used these big plants from the Get Together pack, but I generally try to use different objects to really decorate this. And at first I decided to use this really happy, bright, warm wooden tone for the table and the chairs, but then I decided to change it because it was just a really weird pop of color kind of. For the real pop of color, I wanted to use these beautiful pink flowers. I think they are part of the Romantic Garden Stuff pack, but I'm not sure. This pack is just so beautiful, but also I feel like it's a bit tricky because some of the plants in the Romantic Garden Stuff pack are neon, which is kind of fun, but also it looks super weird. So if I want to build a really dreamy house, I don't want to have like neon blue plants in the garden. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the shapes of the flowers are beautiful, like there are different types, but the neon color is not it, like not for this vibe, but that's just me. Let me know what you think. Also, there are some interesting news apparently. I just saw this on Twitter being posted by the Sims community. Apparently, the Sims 4 base game is going to be free, and apparently it's going to be free forever. So it's not like a while ago, last year or something, at some point the Sims 4 base game was free for a month or something, so people could grab it for free and they could keep it, but this was just for a limited time. But apparently there's going to be a change and the Sims 4 base game is going to be free forever. And yeah, let me know what you think. I feel like this is going to be a huge controversial topic in general. Like I already saw some comments on Twitter, and I feel like some people are going to be happy about this, some people are not going to like it. So I'm always interested to hear from you. Do you think it's a good thing? In my opinion, it's been so many years since the base game came out. I think it's fine that it's for free. I mean, obviously it's so people are interested in checking out some of the packs. Like realistically, this is what this is about. And I mean, I know that we all bought it at some point and spent money on this, but I feel like we got our money's worth. Like we've been playing the base game for a long time, like most of us, but I totally understand if you don't feel this way, because I have seen that some people aren't happy about this and they were like talking about wanting a refund and stuff because now it's free. But I feel like it's fine. It's been 8 years now, I think, and I feel like it's fine if it makes people like interested in the game. Some people might just check out the game. I think that's exciting. Like back then when the base game was free for a limited time, a lot of people checked the game out and kind of found their love for the Sims 4. Like some people were Simmers who used to play the older Sims games, and then they would like trying to get into the Sims 4 suddenly because it's free. Some people might discover the game completely, like for the very first time, and I think that's fine, but we will see. I think it's like a developing story, so I don't think that it's like a definite news at this point, but I just thought it's interesting, and I know that there are lots of different opinions about this. And I'm excited to hear from you. I mean, lots of games these days are free, but then they kind of want you to maybe buy a skin or something. Here in this case, it's about buying packs. So I feel like it's not uncommon these days that you like get a part of the game for free. But I think what's great here is that it's like the base game is a fully functional game. Of course, a lot of stuff is missing, like a lot of things are added in packs, but technically you could just grab the base game, you could create a family, and you can download a base game house from the gallery or build one yourself, and you can just enjoy the game. So I think that's fine. But yeah, I'm open to hear from you. I'm open to all kinds of different opinions, and yeah, let's see what you think. Also, I'm building a tennis court here. It's not functional, but it's looking fancy. And at some point, I was asked in the comments if I could build a tennis court. But if you own City Living, you could totally use this area to turn this into a functional basketball court. So this is just for decorative purposes. The garden generally is huge. It's a 64 by 64 lot. And there is a lot of space if you want to add something, like maybe monkey bars or just anything. So you can add objects to the garden depending on what you want to use this house for. And here I'm finally working on the interior, and here you can see what I was talking about earlier. It looks a bit cold, like because of all the stone, and it's like really a castle on the inside, but the areas like the living room, the bedrooms are really beautiful and warm. So I just wanted to have a combination so you have this kind of castle feel. I've used so many candles, I've used so many curtains in this because of all the windows, and I really wanted this to look really beautiful and nicely cluttered. And I wanted to have a combination of a wood floor and this stone floor, and I've used spandrels in different areas, which is always fun. I kind of hate adding spandrels, to be honest, because you have to build the fence first and then it wants to remove a wall. There's always something happening when you want to use spandrels, but I used them to divide the hallway from the living area, and here you can see how I'm furnishing this. I just wanted this to look really regal and beautiful. Also, there's a new kit coming tonight, the Desert Lux kit. I know that kids, just once again, such a controversial topic. There's always something going on, I feel like, but I know that not everyone is fond of kids. I'm personally super excited for this kit specifically because the Courtyard Oasis kit was absolutely brilliant back then. Even though we only got a couple of objects, it just opened up a whole new world in the Sims 4 build mode. It was finally possible to build some proper Moroccan builds, so even though it's just a small kit, it added so much to the game. I know that some kits weren't as good and that some people generally don't like them, but I feel like Courtyard Oasis is what kids should generally do. They should introduce a new style, something fresh to the game. Even though it's just a couple of objects, a kit, when it's done perfectly, can add a new whole style and a new whole world kind of to The Sims 4. And I feel like Desert Lux also looks good. Not as good as Courtyard Oasis, but I love this type of modern vibe. I love building mansions in the desert. I've created multiple desert mansions over the years, and I'm just excited to get my hands on the pack, to really check out the objects, and I just want to build a nice desert mansion. There seems to be an angled window, which is really exciting because we don't have anything like this, and I generally feel we need more stuff in the game that is not part of the game yet. So for example, we have so many different benches, like these benches which include a table, I forgot the name, and we got so many of them in different packs, like so many different types and different swatches. So we have like one object and we have like 50 versions. Okay, not 50, but we have like a lot of versions of the same object, which is fine. But I wish that we could get something that's completely new. So it's a new functional object, and I feel like this is what kids could be used for. So we get a new function, a new type of object, something really fresh. This would be ideal in my opinion, but at the same time, I'm also happy when they introduce a new style, and I'm just excited to see what the kit looks like. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to build a nice mansion, and yeah, let me know if you will get the kit or if you are generally against kits. There's just so much going on in The Sims 4 right now. Like, the base game goes free. We have a new kit that some people will enjoy, some people won't. I'm just excited to hear your opinions. I'm always open to all opinions, and I'm just excited. I mean, I'm always buying the build kits because I'm just excited when something new is added to the game, but I'm never buying the cast kits because I'm just not playing, so I don't need any new clothes. And I also did not get the dust kit, even though it would probably be cool to have the vacuum cleaner, but I also did not get this kit, so I always only get the building kits because I'm excited for new objects. Like Decor to the Max, for example, I've used a lot of objects in this build from the kit and also in my Monster High build, I think. I don't know, but like in different builds recently, I've used the kit more, so I feel like some kits are cool. So yeah, let me know what you think. This here is the kitchen. I've used the counters and cabinets from the Vampires pack. The floor is also from Vampires. It's such a cool pack for old-fashioned houses like this one, and I wanted to have a really big open kitchen, so it's really perfect for a mansion. And at first I had built the dining area right behind the living room area, but then I noticed that I have this wonderful room that would be perfect for a dining room, so I changed this up a bit and I just turned the area behind the living room into a small breakfast area. There are so many colors and patterns. I generally, I am sometimes a minimalist when I'm building, so I really had to bring myself to combine all these different patterns. There's just so much happening, but I feel like this is just a must for a house like this, and I'm slowly opening up to using different patterns and colors, and I just had so much fun working on this. Also, here at this point, I've used like a wallpaper from I don't even know to which pack it belongs, but I'm going to change this as well. Like at first I wanted to have this brick wallpaper for the whole living area, for the living room and the kitchen and everything, but then I changed it up because I just noticed that it's like looking so much cooler, but I left the brick wallpaper like for the hallway, so it just has this castle vibe. And this is one of many bedrooms. I've used this wonderful bed from Get Famous. It's like the perfect bed for a house like this. There's no bed that compares like in this game. It's just perfect if you want to build a bedroom like this one. The rug on the floor is from, like the golden one, is from Get Famous, and I've also used these dresses from Get Famous because I just wanted to have this type of walk-in closet situation. This is gigantic, so like the whole room is gigantic, so I wanted to add sofas and just different things, so it's like really, really luxurious. And I'm also going to add a bathroom to this. Like at first I did not do that, but then I'm just going to section off a small room in there, so there would be a bathroom as well. Again, I tried to combine different colors, and here you can see the bathroom actually. And I just used the brick wallpaper again for the castle feeling. I added some mirrors on the wall, so it's just really, really spacious. And basically all of the bedrooms are quite spacious. Also, when I was basically done, I noticed that there's like another room at the very top, which I did not notice. Like I only built this room because I wanted to like have a roof like this, and this sometimes happens to me. And yeah, I also furnished this then later on. It's not in the video, but there's like another one in like up there, like another wonderful bedroom. I also included a kids room, so you can really let a really big sim family move in. And I was trying to have different colors for the different bedrooms. So one was really red and bright and colorful. This one here has more muted colors, and this wonderful gray color, which I also like. You know, I like muted neutral colors, and this was kind of fun to furnish. And this room here is going to have a ladder because up like above this room there's a tower. Like you notice the towers that I had built in the beginning, and the tower is located above this room, and I only realized later. So there will be a ladder in there, and then up there there's like a hidden small room with a bookcase and an armchair, so the sim can just kind of hide up there and read a book, and it's quiet and cozy and calm. So this is what I decided to do with this room, because I thought, okay, there's like a random tower above, it's not really big, there's already a bathroom which is like a part of the bedroom, so what could I do with this really small room? So I figured it would be so cute to have like a tiny reading nook up there or something. This is another bedroom, and there are more. Like I did not even include all of them. I think there's like an extra bedroom and everything. So you can let a big sim family move in here. They can enjoy the garden, and you can always like add more to this build. And as you will see, I decided to use some barrels to really furnish a part of the small basement area nicely. And I generally sometimes have such a hard time to decide what to do when I have a basement space. I feel like sometimes, you can just use it as bedrooms, livable space, but I mean a basement is a basement. So for a regular mansion, I thought it would be nice to use some barrels down there. I don't even know to which pack they belong, to be honest. I sized them up because they were initially a lot smaller. I then just added a bar down there and furnished this a bit and made it look beautiful. I mean, it's a really small basement area, and also when I wanted to change the wallpaper, I wanted to delete all the barrels, so I had to use the deletion protection. And yeah, this is it. This video is slowly coming to an end. I hope that you've enjoyed it. This build is available in the gallery. It's CC free, unmodded, and it's completely furnished, so you can grab it and let your sims move in. My gallery ID is KateEmerald, and you can also grab the tray files from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons and my Emerald YouTube members. A big thank you to Mehmet Ali Baris Khan, Asia, Charlotte, Emma Barnes, Lady Sims, KTY, Laplace, Lisa Martin, Leah Cross, Saturated Spark, Shannon McClam, Stephen, and Helena Lynn. Thank you so much for your huge support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons and YouTube members. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this build. I hope that your Sims will enjoy the build if they move in. I hope you will have a wonderful day and week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.